Priority Chef sent me this mortar and pestle, and I cannot wait to show you how you get it seasoned. So I didn't realize that you needed to actually keep these seasoned and clean in order to get the best results, so you don't have like gritty guacamole or this absorbs all of the food. But first I want to show you, before I show you how you season it, I want to show you how beautiful this is. This is made out of granite. It is extremely heavy, extremely pretty, and it's going to look great when you're not using it as like a display piece on your shelf. So first step, we're going to rinse this a few times to get all of the grit off. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and rinse this. It says you can rinse this a few different times. The goal this time when rinsing is to get off all of that like granite dust, those little tiny rocks. It is very important that you don't use soap. So it's a lot like a cast iron, if you've ever had that before, where you almost never want to use soap, especially if it's not been pre-seasoned. So we're going to go ahead and just keep rinsing this for a little while and then eventually dry it. One thing I did want to show you was it comes with soft pads here. That you can actually cover the bottom of this. But I thought with all the washing I'm going to be doing that I would add these later after this whole thing is dry. So I wanted you to know that these came to protect the bottom, which would protect your countertop from this heavy duty thing. So once this is dry, we'll be back for step 2. All right, we're back. I went and set that out and let it dry. One of the things is that Priority Chef really thinks about is they tell you how to take care of this long-term care, how to get it set up, and they even give you some ideas and tips. So I'm just following step by step what to do there. The next thing we're going to do is we are actually going to grind some rice, about a handful of rice in here, until the rice no longer has like a stone color. One of the things that I love about this is how nice this fits into my hand. This is so slick. First of all, it's adorable. Second of all, you can use both sides and it's really comfortable. So you're going to be able to do this for a while. No problem. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'll be back after I grind a few handfuls, just like this. As you can see, it's starting to kind of break up my rice. My rice still is pretty clear, so I'm going to grind on this for a while and I'll be back to show you what it looks like. So I have been grinding on this for a while. It's actually been a workout. I've been making sure to do this side, and my rice has like a slight grayish hue to it. I don't know if I can show. Here's like some brand new rice. Tiny bit different. So I'm going to dump this out, they said, and go through and do this a second time. And then not adding soap, I'm going to go through and rinse off all of this rice, and then I'll be ready for our last step. So I went and I washed and I dried it out from my rice, and then I had to mortar it again. By the second time, I was getting to my version, my satisfactory white rice. So this thing is nice and clean. And then step 3, it says we actually need to season it. So to do that, we can take 4 cloves and we get to muddle this all around this whole bowl until we have a nice little paste. And so once this is a paste, we have some seasonings we can add, and I'll be back after I get this back to a paste. All right, so I've sufficiently muddled this into a paste, and I'm making sure to try to get as much of the ball as I can, and also trying, here in a second, I'll flip it over to the handle, but also trying to get as much of the bowl. So then the next thing they'd like you to do is add a pinch of salt. And I think this is just to give the stone a delicious taste when you go to use it. And then the next thing is some cumin. So we'll just go ahead and mix this up. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. I can't wait to make my first batch of guac with this. Oh man. And so what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to rinse this out and let it dry, and I will be able to use it for our guac. I am so grateful I was sent this in exchange for a real and honest review, because honest reviews are what we do here at We Tested That. And this mortar and pestle is absolutely excellent quality. I'm so glad they sent how to season it so that their customers can get it done right. This thing is beautiful for a shelf, and it's going to be so good when they use it to make guac with my friends here soon.